55 grand one day solely from organic and ads. No magic framework, no magic funnel, just a laptop, a dream, and the same game I've been running for months, boys. And this isn't a
"Oh, I made 50K this month, let me flex on you"
kind of video. This is showing you boys exactly how I did it, step by step, the exact campaigns that I run, the exact creatives that I run, the exact fucking clothing that I'm running. So if you freelance or run a brand, or you're just one step away from breaking through, this is the video that's gonna do it for you, big dog. Let's dive onto my computer and yeah, get the ball rolling. All right, boys, real quick, drop day, just to fucking put some numbers in front of your face. You know I'm not lying to you. I have nothing gained by lying to you. Yeah, nonetheless, yeah, drop day did pretty good, 376 orders, but let's dive into the ads manager. That's where like the real sauce is. I'm gonna break down literally fucking everything we did, boys. I got you guys, don't even trip. Alrighty, boys, so here is our spend. Here's kind of what's going on. I did a normal retargeting, a normal cold, and this time I decided to open up some interest stacks and play around with some interests. Performed decent, you know, didn't really spend too much, as you guys can tell. Let's just dive into our cold campaign first. I'm going to break it down for you guys, break down the setup a little bit, break down the ads that I was running, and so on. So we're just going to open up our cold campaign. I'm going to click edit just so that way you guys can kind of see what's going on. The campaign is just, you know, campaign. You set it up and it doesn't really do jack shit. It's just kind of the housing for your ad sets, unless you want to put your budget on campaign budget, which I never do personally. To each their own. The ad set is where we actually start to build out the audience and, you know, build out who's going to be seeing the ad, who's going to be receiving the ad, what did they do, what behaviors did they have, what are they interested in, and so on. So for a cold ad set, you know, it's the most basic setup ever. I've talked about it millions of times. Literally just walk through everything. Once you get to the audience, you're going to switch to or further limit the reach of your ads is what it'll say, and then pretty much just leave it as it is. This time I actually tweaked my age. I usually never tweak my age, but we tweaked age this time because I started running some pre-release, and for the first time ever, dude, it hit the wrong audience completely. We were getting like old motherfuckers on some boxer sweats, and they're commenting like, what the fuck are these, blah 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 blah. So we had to limit the age a little bit. I still left it as like a suggestion, so that way I'm kind of just pushing Facebook in the right direction, but not, you know, limiting them, because fuck, Jimmy's mom might be 50 years old and she might be buying him the pants. So, you know, we want to keep that door open for Jimmy, so that way Jimmy can still get his pants. You feel me? Does it make sense? You know? Got you guys. So yeah, literally just the most basic setup ever within all these ad sets. Platforms for the placements, I just do Instagram for this brand, you know. Not really too big of a Facebook audience for this brand, but to each their own. Definitely want to be using Facebook if it makes sense for the company, if it makes sense for the brand. These are like trendy fashion, doesn't really make sense on Facebook. So to give you guys a bit more insight of what ads I was running within the cold, just going to our cold campaign real quick. I split everything up accordingly by product. Normally you want your ad sets to be sitting around like, I'd say at least 3 to 5 creatives within the ad set. Anything more than that, they're going to struggle to see spend. Anything less than that, they're going to see too much spend. So you kind of want Facebook to have the reins of like, okay, this ad's doing well this day, this ad's doing well this day. Let me push spend here, push spend here, push some spend here. They're not the best with it, but, you know, better than you're going to be, and they're a lot more on top of it than you're going to be. You don't want videos and pictures to be in the same ad set. You don't generally want to mix too many carousels and single images, just because everything performs differently. And like, if you're comparing the engagement of a video and comparing the engagement of a picture, the engagement on the video is going to be way fucking higher because no one's staring at a picture for 15 seconds and then scrolling. You'll stare at the video for 15 seconds and scroll, but not the pictures. So, you know, you want to have them in their own separate ad sets. That way they can fight the other videos for the spend and fight the other pictures for the spend. We don't want them fighting each other because videos will always shit on them. Out of all the creatives that we were running for these sweatpants, this like graphic design kind of creative was the top performer by far. Ever just got it done. Super fucking simple, boys. You guys can get this shit done so fucking easily. This is a iPhone picture. Remove the background on Photoshop, slap some text on there, slap a logo, slap some more text. Cherry, brother. You always want to do 1x1s and 9x16s, so as you can see, it fits both accordingly, and it just looks beautiful. You know, it doesn't look cheap, it doesn't look tacky, like, it looks good, you know? Fits both placements. Do that for every single fucking ad, boys. It should always fit both placements accordingly. This is just an iPhone picture, but it fits both placements accordingly. It looks nice. It feels expensive. It doesn't feel tacky and cheap. As you guys can see, the catalog was by far our winner, sitting at a 10x return. That's huge, you know. Put fucking 120 bucks in there, got back 1,200. No complaints, brother. No complaints. But other than that, everything's just duplicated over to the retargeting. So let me dive into this campaign and show you guys a little bit. Campaign level, nothing changes, dude. The exact same. We dive into the ad set. That's where things change. So in the ad set, the usual setup all the way down to here. We're going to do the age again because of last time. I told you all what happened. So we're doing the age again. And then this is where you build the audiences. So custom audience, I'm running IG 365, website 90. Everyone who's been on the website in the past 90 days, everyone who's been on the Instagram in the past 365 are getting retargeted with this ad. Fucking cooks, brother. Absolutely fucking cooks. And the best part about all of this is you don't even have to set up the fucking ad. You just let Facebook do everything. You leave it on this Advantage Plus catalog ads, carousel, let it do its thing. Look at how pretty they look. So fucking cherry, dude. You wouldn't want to run catalog cold ads because you're just kind of shoving the product at someone that doesn't know that the product exists, want the product, care about the product. That's why we use the other creatives, the more like on body shit, kind of showcasing the product. We use those to kind of vouch and bring people in. We retarget them with the catalog ads so that way they can just immediately purchase. And we fucking print, brother, fucking 10x. Good God. But yeah, other than that, boys, ran the usual setup, all the same shit that's inside of the cold campaign. And then the last thing that I did for this drop, other than the pre-release, which I have plenty of other videos on, would be our interest stacks. And I haven't played around with interests in, you know, such a long fucking time because they were just dead for a moment. I wasn't playing around with them too much. The initial hustle was running like a couple of interests, letting Facebook do the rest, but cold kind of just does that now for you, and running any sort of Advantage Plus shit just kind of does that for you. So interest stacks have been relatively dead, but I've come to realize most people just aren't running them correctly, and that if you can really lock in on your niche, it'll work. All you have to do to run a successful interest stack is pile a fuck ton of hyper niche down interests inside of one fucking audience. Everything, dude. Look at how many I did in here. Bada bing, bada motherfucking bam, boys. That's fat. All of these hyper niche down designer brands that, you know, build into the aesthetic of the clothing. If you guys want to, by all means, copy my interests, but make sure that the interests that you're using make sense for the brand. This is a Balenciaga-esque, like high fashion, expensive, good quality products. If you're pushing streetwear, if you're pushing like some shitty graphic tee that belongs in Zoomies, do not use these audiences. You're gonna lose your fucking money, twin. I ran 7 creatives inside of this ad set because I wasn't too worried about like not every creative seeing some spend because I already have all the other campaigns kicking fucking ass. So this was kind of just see what happens, play around with it, start to build out like a good audience of interest for this brand, and, you know, rinse and repeat for the next drop. But I just ran a fuck ton of winners from every single other campaign that we did. So all of our best performers, here they are too, if you guys want to copy them or rinse and repeat for your brand or anything. These are all of our top performers for this drop. This creative, this creative, this creative, peep the drip, this creative, this creative, this creative, and this creative. Super simple shit, boys. You guys can do the exact same thing. I promise these creatives are not hard to make. A little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of attention to detail. You'll be chilling. Photoshop's fucking free too, dude. Get the free 2-week trial. Make your money back. Get a client. Do their shit. Come on. Y'all gotta get to fucking work, boy. All in all, this drop was nothing too crazy for us. We're just product testing right now. Getting the ball rolling for the summer and, you know, getting the ball rolling for the fall, winter. That's when you make fucking money, boys. Fall, winter, Black Friday. That's when I'll buy my Huracan. You guys will see it. We'll do some fucking damage. But, yeah, that's how I set up my fucking ads. Back to the camera. That's how we hit 55K in one day for a clothing brand. Nothing crazy, no lucky break, just knowing what buttons to push, good creatives, good product, and a half-decent audience, boys. And most people overthink this, or even worse, you know, copy someone else's plays for a brand where it doesn't even make sense. Like, use your brains, boys. I'm fucking I'm over it. You don't need a huge team. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to understand what's actually moving the revenue. Do some more of it, make some money, and you're good, brother. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you boys in my Discord. Also, if you made it this far, comment pickles, as always. Deuces, fucker.